what they do when they create games, because they know that consciousness cannot escape itself, and the best way to keep consciousness busy while it's trapped within inside of itself is to give it a game to play. Always give it an illusory game that it thinks it can beat. Have you ever played a game? And I used to just play games for a little bit and just leave them alone. But then one time I played a game and I actually beat it. Like, I beat the full game, passed all the levels, beat the full game. And the feeling you get of escaping every level and beating the whole game, each level is leaving a dopamine hit, a trace of reward, stringing you along. This is why they have the stats in the corner. So the whole purpose of consciousness and this created reality society as well, in the version of a game, is to keep consciousness busy within inside of itself and keep it unaware that it cannot escape itself. So if you knew that you could not escape this realm, if you knew that you should not serve anything outside of yourself, if you knew that acceptance and gratitude were the doorways to your higher self. Why? Because you transcend your own knowledge. If you knew that, then there would be nothing to do here. There would be nothing to chase. So therefore, the best way to operate in life is from a standpoint of neutrality. This standpoint of neutrality is going to keep you out of the sway and the sign of life. That's another thing that acceptance and gratitude will do. It will keep you out of the good and bad, because you don't own the good or bad of this earth. Just visualizing that the universe has no personality, that it doesn't really care if you suffer, it just wants energy. Then you can regain your power and revisit your standpoint of neutrality, where you can refocus your energy to be used and manipulated in the way that you would like it to be used and manipulated in. So all truth, of course, is only really information on how your life force energy has been manipulated. That's all it is. Every single truth you'll get is about how your life force energy has been manipulated. And then people don't even realize, but people who are intelligent, other people just really know that that person has the power to manipulate. They're afraid of intelligent people. They're afraid of conscious people, because you become 1%. You become a 1%er of the world, baby. And like we say, consciousness, being conscious, is like buying front row tickets to see the madness of this world, man. To actually see the madness of existence. To actually see the hell that we have to see and we have to go through. And that we are tricked into, constantly manipulated into thinking that this realm and this game is realer than it is. So acceptance and gratitude will get you to your highest state versus an illusory love. Because there is this type of love that has been served to us as a people that is a form of over-positivity. Okay? And this is what I mean by the highs and lows and being in a standpoint of neutrality. Because this version of love that we've been given, it's pampered. You'll fall off in this illusion of great love and peace and harmony, and then when something happens, it just breaks so easily, then you're traumatized again. But if you were loving that person, not love running off of emotions, but love running off of neutrality, not revisiting love as a real emotion or something that you're swimming in, but realizing it as a perspective and a respect for life. And my new version of love is unconditional love is to love someone less conscious than you, which I find to be one of the most romantic things that, words spoken by yours truly. So we're talking about how to operate within a trap and better our experience, because people seem to be experiencing hell. The average man you talk to, the average Lyft driver you talk to, when you get in the car, they're going through hell. They're paying things that they don't feel like they have to deserve to pay. They feel molested. We feel as if we're in a place where we've overstayed our welcome. And colonization has reached all points, all ends of the world. How important is it for us to get into a state of neutrality and start getting out of the sway of life and being so sucked into our emotions so we can regain focus and regain power towards solutions for enlightened people, towards solutions for conscious people, because the world is becoming harder and harder on the enlightened. And it's always been that way. They're programmed to see conscious people, so they'll attack you in this matrix. How important is it for us to be able to transcend everything we know because we're becoming more powerful? How important is it for us to regain a certain type of focus and vision in this world because we're navigating in the dark? Yes, this is why you should always trust your own consciousness. Always keep your individual thought pattern about yourself. Because you're the one that has to navigate this reality. They tell you nothing. Like, we don't even remember how we got here. And then they give you this game to play in, to keep your conscience busy, to keep your energy being drained, to keep you thinking it's real. And so there is no dangerous decision here in this chaotic realm. There really is no dangerous decision in this chaotic realm. So you have to learn to trust yourself. There is no safe way to think in this realm. What can we do other than access higher versions of ourselves, really, practically? A wise man does what a wise man does, no matter what a fool does, no matter what the fools do. He'll take the repercussion. He'll take what you give him. So as sage Jesus said on the cross, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. For they know not the games of suffering that they play inside of the consciousness. Your teachers know that consciousness cannot escape itself. Yet people seem to lie, paint high illusions of love, and like there's some type of safety and security in this realm. And there's no safety and security in this realm. And the universe will tell you, the universe will show you, it has no choice but to be honest with you. It can't lie. But the fact is if you choose to believe it, if you choose to believe the things that you've seen in this realm, that might, make you ask yourself, could this be a hell realm? How many conscious people are there? Is it possible for you to be the only conscious mind in the world? There's no proof. That's solipsism. There's no proof that people are operating at the same level of consciousness in this realm. But you see it with your eyes. That's another big part of the game, the hypnosis, is words. So many words we use. When the philosopher simplifies the complex web of information in order to give it to the people, relieve them of their complexity, relieve them of the game that's being constantly played. Yeah, we live in a realm where you have to kill to get energy. Even if it's a plant, you have to kill. So it's all manipulation. You'll choose to focus your time and energy on high vibration manipulation. And if you are in a state of neutrality, then you can see the power that you hold sharpened by the darkness. If you're listening this far, then you face the dark night. If you're listening this far, you've had high vibration. If you're listening this far, you want to know how the world works. You want to know what kind of spell and hypnosis that the world is under. And active minds are asking these brand new questions. Maybe not brand new. Hey guys. So we are asking more complex questions. Simple truths are not getting us out of the situations we're in. They're not getting us to the next level. We can't even get a fucking reward hit because of how the world's set up. Well, that's the fun in life. That's the magic of being, is to transcend your own intelligence. How else could you access a higher you? What other way is there? So transcending our own intelligence is in knowing that things in this realm are just not our fault. You could be a good person working your ass off in this realm. You could have done art. You could have done music, spent hours and hours, just like anybody else. Spent more time than the person who blew up and made it and shit. And the universe just doesn't care. Doesn't care if you suffer. But the problem with a lot of us is we haven't been operating out of a point of neutrality in our mind, a center balance of our own individual thought process. So then we lack the ability to respond correctly, and we get nowhere. Our life force energy is killed. Before the universe can even answer one thing or unlock one thing, we're giving it more energy. But when you stay out of the pain and reward hypnosis that the world has to offer, then you can say, hey, what if you were able to just stay out of it and just see the pain and reward that the situation that it wants to take you through? What if you sit back and say, hey, I choose not to go through that. I don't want to give that situation energy unless it's giving me energy. What if you played with the universe like that? What if you actually put in work and sat back and gave it time to pay you back and say, nah, I'm not giving you any more energy until I get what I deserve, because you deserve it. Especially if you've worked hard, if you've terrorized yourself, you've browbeat yourself, just like the system taught you through the panopticon theory, that they don't have to domesticate you anymore. You've done it yourself. I used to be so hard on myself. And this is how awakenings come. Why? Why is it a system of pain? How come they're programmed to seek consciousness? I feel the entity. In police officers, I got pulled over. Yep, they'll try to stop me here as well. We'll see. They took my car, left me on the side of the road, impounded my car because my insurance raised and I dropped it. I didn't get my tags renewed. But a king will do, and a wise man will do what a wise man is supposed to do within himself, no matter what fools do to him, no matter how fools react. This is sage wisdom. Being in a state of neutrality, owning and operating your own reality, and knowing that it's possible. A long way through the grass. This has been a beautiful sunset, guys. You can see I'm sweating. Talking about how still through this program and simulation, we can still access points of neutrality, and that's how we access our higher self. It is truly the only two doorways that I found inside of consciousness. Not to bend over through acceptance, not to bow, but just to accept what is. Just to transcend your own thought process, your own thought pattern is powerful, especially when you're conscious. Now, it's one thing to transcend a mind that doesn't really know anything. For you to transcend everything you know, everything you see in this world is truly powerful. And what it does on top of that is put you in a state of detachment. And then you open the next doorway of gratitude. And that gratitude helps with the detachment. So from these two doorways, you get to your higher self and have access to neutrality, high focus, high alert, responding to the universe when it reciprocates your energy, instead of letting it beat your ass. It's tried to whoop me. Life will try to break you. The system will try to break you. They left me on the side of the road in the dark. And it's painful, it's traumatic. Yeah, we were all laughing about it. We always find ways to transcend it and still get joy out of it. If you're experiencing joy in other high states, the sun amplifies whatever state that you're in. You see, the sun is amplifying everything on the earth. Dark people want to stay inside because they don't want their darkness amplified. It will make it worse. You smoke marijuana, you smoke the mota. That feminine plant will amplify who you already are. This is why some people run away from it and they get detached from reality. It almost scared me too at times. It's not an easy plant to tame and control and build a relationship with, especially before you come conscious. Knowing how to handle ourselves and propagate our own consciousness within itself, because we can't escape it. One might beg the question. One of my subscribers, Dave, in one of my previous videos says, that's a great question. Is the war over energy in the spiritual realm an illusion as well? Could it be? Could we just think that we're fighting, playing this game, and it's not even real? You know, we'd all love to wake up from, I thought about the acid trip. I tripped on acid one time. And something in my mind, knowing about inverted knowledge, something in my mind really is screaming that, what if you didn't wake up from the trip? What if you woke up from reality and then went back to a trip? Like, this is all a trip. Like, what if that was reality? When you were tripping, what if you were being shown reality, and then when you sobered up, you said, this is reality? But what if it's not? What if this is the trip, and the veil being blown off is reality? It's the same as waking up from a dream. Pick up these little nuts right here, falling from the trees. Somehow we know that there are many, many veils up inside of consciousness, many simulations, many games. And I think consciousness is getting bored with itself. And there is no jailbreak. They'll call it a soul trap. They'll say we're in a soul trap. But really just your consciousness, it just can't go anywhere outside of itself. It's just like the moment. It's just like the now. The inescapable now. You can escape anything. Consciousness can escape anything, any problem, any situation in this realm. It can manipulate its way out and escape. But it can't escape itself. It can't escape the now. I dare you right now to try to get out of the moment. And so they build these games, these projections, these illusions that hypnotize and manipulate you. That's what your thoughts are. They make you think you're in a game that's beatable. In fact, you can get trapped in these worlds, trapped in these vortexes. I see my nephew, he's in the room, he barely comes out of the room to eat. So consciousness is so easily fooled and trapped and deceived. But knowing this does not make us weak. Knowing this makes us powerful. It makes us regain our power. It makes us say, I don't know if I'm going to play the game today. This thing is not giving me energy. This thing I'm doing is not, this relationship's not giving me energy. This job is not giving me energy. Paying insurance is not giving me energy. It's taking. And so all truth you'll get will be revelation on how your life force energy has been manipulated. Don't be fooled by the game, guys. A king will do, and a wise man will do what he does, regardless of what fools think of him, regardless of what they do. He will be him true self. He will stay in a state of neutrality. He will know how to access his higher self in order to not fear death in this realm, in order to not feel attachment to this realm. Sages come off as kind of lethargic sometimes. But that's why they're at the masters. That's why God is the boss. God being your consciousness. Because you see, the greatest trick of the devil is to make the world believe he's God. So we'll have deeper questions on hypnosis and how the mind is being manipulated, and how us gaining control of the program is reaching our higher self in a higher vibration, hypnosis. We know that projections are being given to us in our brain to make us carry out actions. We know that they're either high vibrational or low vibrational. We know that the images you sit and watch on a television is programming you with mind control hypnosis. So it's not controlling your every move, so it's not so obvious that you're overtaken, that you're possessed. Neutrality, guys. I'm not telling you how to think because I know how that is. Oh, you've just been thinking the wrong way, so everything's your fault. That's what every teacher displays to you. Seems like they display to you after they parade around in knowledge and things that are not practical. They give you the illusion of the game as well. That there's some way to be free, totally free, and just ascend it all, and just, that's it. But they're parading around and feeding on people who have just awakened. What about the people on the other levels? We're coming together as a collective conscious, meaning the 1%ers are really coming together. There's no way to deny each other. There's no way to stop the amplification of your consciousness if you step into the sun. There's nothing dangerous in this realm. No dangerous decision. Unless it's an evil intent you definitely don't want to carry out. Then you'll have to deal with the karmatic loop. That's the only bad decision in this realm. Be free to make your decisions. Because your higher self knows that you cannot be affected by this world. You are in a state of neutrality. No matter what the fools do, you will remain a wise man or woman in your highest conscious self. And I'm telling you the two doorways. I used to always say there were the two doorways to the other side of the river. Always be honest with yourself. A question is the most powerful thing that a man has. This is how I'm transcending the new truths, is I'm just asking questions. How is this reality built? How is it constructed? How is our mind really operating through the day? We're astral projecting our reality as we move. How important is it to study the mind? How important is it for you to amplify your own being through natural hypnosis, because you know a form of artificial hypnosis has been set upon you in attack. Anything artificial came from nature. It came from the natural. We're meant to be in hypnosis. We're meant to be trapped inside of this consciousness, but we're meant to have freedom inside of ourselves. Freedom within it. So whether there are entities trapped inside of this consciousness with us that are manipulating our energy and have figured all this out, is something we need to deal with. something that powerful minds need to get together and discuss instead of being so attached to this realm. There was a guy, Benedict Time, shout out to, he revived the questionnaire in me. What did he say? He said he wished he would have took more risks and rebelled more in the system. Because we're indoctrinated. As soon as it's much harder to tame a lion from the wild. It would take longer. But if you get his children and his offspring, it will be much easier to tame his offspring. So they get us early and indoctrinate us, making us weak. It's not set up to empower us. It's setting us up to be slaves. So he said, I wish when I was younger, I would have rebelled more. And I just want to say, if you have a chance in life, even as an adult, to just start rebelling, overcoming fears and visualizations that are really the end of you. These are the visualizations that stop us in our tracks and allow us to be manipulated. Dark visualizations and projections that, if you don't stop them, they'll keep running through your mind and cause a hypnosis. And as soon as you're under hypnosis, you're very easily manipulated. This is how they access the entire body. And then come play hero when someone turns crazy or goes through their form of hypnosis manipulation, causing psychosis. Listen, gnosis means knowledge, actually. And so you could question, were the Gnostics onto something? I'll have to study them. Gnostics, gnosis, paranosis, diagnosis. So the manipulation won't stop. The only way to navigate this reality is to trust your own conscious and enter in higher states of not illusory love, because it's not practical, but higher states of gratitude and acceptance and gratitude.